Welcome to my practice. Today we'll just begin seated in the mat. We're going to begin with a breath technique, just to bring awareness to the breath. We're going to inhale for 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold for 2, 1, 2. Exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 2, 1, 2. Inhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Inhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. Come back to the natural rhythm of the breath. Let that awareness settle. Come back to a relaxed state of mind. Don't be intimidated by what's to come, but rather just find yourself in presence. Amazing. We're going to come over into child's pose. Bring back that awareness of breath. As we inhale, we're going to come up over the wrists. Slight upward facing dog, but just knees are down. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up over the wrists. Maybe even tuck the toes. Knees still planted on the mat. Exhale, back to child's. Inhale, come into tabletop. Exhale, we open up to the side. Right arm goes up to the sky. We twist open to the right. Exhale, palm back to the mat. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, open up to the left side. Left palm comes up to the sky. Exhale. Or inhaling back to the mat. Inhale in tabletop. Exhale back to child's pose. Stretching through those hands. We're going to reach our hands over to the right side. Stay in child's pose. Just getting a side stretch on the left side body. Hands plant over on the right side of the mat. Tuck the chin slightly, not all the way down. Just reaching through the crown a little bit. Just stretching forward. Growing in length. Switching sides. Hands come over to the left side of the mat. Lower the head slightly, tuck the chin a little bit, get some length through that side body. Breathe and reach. Coming back into the center. Inhale into  reaching over the hands a little bit. Knees stay down. Exhale, back to child's. Inhale, back to tabletop. Opening up that right side. Oh, God. Tabletop, open up the right side body. Hand comes up to the sky. Palm comes back, center of the mat. Opening up left side body. Reaching up with the left hand. Hand comes back to the mat. Inhale and tabletop for a moment. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, back up to tabletop. We reach the left leg back. Right leg goes back to meet it. Just getting a little bit of awareness in the strength aspect as you hold here for a couple breaths. Just recognizing that you have strength when needed. You're going to lower the knees, exhale. Lower the hips down all the way in the child's pose. Inhaling, coming back up, reaching the right hand to the sky. Left palm goes to the center of the mat. Open up to the right. And the right palm swaps with the left in the center. Left palm goes up straight to the sky. Left palm comes back down to the mat, lowering back into child's. Inhale back into tabletop. Taking a breath here and then reaching the left leg back. Right goes back to meet it. Finding yourself in plank for a moment. We're going to drop the left knee down. Right foot plants with the heel, and we open up that right side, big and wide, as the right hand reaches to the sky, reaches up and over the head. Right foot stays planted, press down the outer edge. Hand comes back up to the sky, comes down to the mat, flip onto the right toes, left leg goes back to the back. Inhale here for a breath, activating the core. Right knee drops down to the mat. Left heel flips, plants. Press into the outside edge of that left foot. Left arm goes up to the sky as you reach up. Inhale. Exhale, it goes over the head and you reach forward to the top of the mat. Check in with that planted foot. Get a little bit of a hip rotation. Make sure your left hip's not falling in, but reaching up towards the sky in that alignment. Just opening up. Left palm comes up to the sky and then folds down to the mat. Right leg goes back, end up in plank. Inhale here for a breath. And exhale, we lower all the way down to the belly. As we inhale, we flip the tops of the toes out. And we come into cobra, gentle back bend. Exhale, lower the chest down, curl the toes, bring the knees in, and back to child's pose. Inhaling here for a breath. Exhale back up to plank. Inhale for a moment. Right knee drops down. We come into that modified side plank. Left arm reaches to the sky. Left foot is planted. Left arm reaches up towards the front of the mat. Open those hips up. Make sure they're in line with each other. Left arm goes up to the sky and folds down. Meets onto the mat with the right. Right leg shoots back. End up in plank. Hold for a breath. Left knee drops down. Right foot plants with that heel. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Pressing down to the right knife edge on the right foot. Pressing into the left palm. Stretching through the crown. Right arm reaches up and over the head as you create a nice long line to the press of that knife edge on the right foot. All the way through those right hand fingertips, reaching up through the crown. Right hand comes up to the sky, folds down, meets onto the mat. Right toes to the mat, left meet the right. Inhale in the plank, exhale lower, slow, down, down, down. Belly meets the mat. Inhale into a cobra, slight back bend. And exhale, we lower the chest. Stay in cobra for a moment. We're going to just explore that back bend a little bit more. So inhale, maybe go a little bit deeper. But may you remember to reach with the crown forward. Just exploring the opening of the chest. Breathe some oxygen there. And then exhale. All the way down, toes tuck under, press into the palms. We reach back into child's pose. Bring awareness back to that breath, but also check in with your thoughts that you just experienced, just opening the chest for a moment there. How did the breath feel coming into your chest? Was it tight? Most likely, and just bringing awareness of if you felt any pain coming into the chest at all, or the lower back, how far down the breath was able to go, when it was restricted. Just bring some of those thoughts into awareness. We're going to come back up into tabletop, feet reach back into plank. Inhale in the plank, exhale, we lower all the way down. Now with that thinking of the awareness of the breath, we flip the toes out from under, top of the feet are on the mat, and we inhale into that cobra one more time. Breathing in and reaching through the crown, just checking in. How does that breath feel going down into the lungs as you expose the front chest? Open to the front of the mat. Exhale, we lower the chest down, tuck the toes up on the knees, pressing through the hands, lower into child's pose. Awesome. Inhaling, coming back into tabletop. Just doing a couple cat-cows, so dropping the belly. Inhale, chest comes up. Exhale, tucking the hips in, rolling the chest down. Head drops. Inhale, hips come up, and like a wave, flows all the way through as the chest exposes itself to the sky. Head tilts back a little bit, coming back into neutral. We step the feet back into plank. Inhale here for a moment, and then we bring the hips up to the sky for our first downward dog. Holding here, stretching in the hamstrings, because that's where we're going to go. We're going to start working into the legs. Just bring some more awareness. Blood flow down to the lower body. Just see how that feels. So just begin to open up the legs and just give some gentle thought down there. Just be like, hey guys, we're about to stretch you out. We're about to get into those tight places. So just bring some awareness down to your legs. Bring some understanding down there. Last breath, and downward facing dog. We're going to step that right leg forward. Dropping right knee. We come up with the upper body. Low lunge with the big inhale. Lean slightly back if you feel comfortable doing so. Exhale, palms down to the mat. We're going to tuck the right toes under, come up with that back right knee, runner's lunge with the breath here. And then planting the palm, shooting left leg back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, you could stick with that cobra, just seeing how that feels again with that breath. Maybe you're a little bit more open. Maybe that breath could get a little deeper. Exhale, coming back into child's pose. Tucking those toes, hips shoot back all the way in a downward dog. Right leg shoots forward between the hands. Left knee drops. We inhale. Hands come up over the head. Big inhale to that chest. Head felt. Just lean back a little bit if you feel comfortable. Hands drop down to the mat. Fingers plant. Curl the left toes under as the left knee comes up. Get some extension, get some length through the crown, planting the hands down on the mat, right leg shoots back. Inhale in the plank, exhale, lower slow. Into that cobra, bring some more awareness, maybe get a little deeper, get a little more length, stretching out through those toes, maybe reaching back through the legs. Exhale, lower the chest down, curl the toes, hips droop back. In the child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Legs shoot back in the plank, holding the plank for a breath. And exhale, back to downward facing. Alright, inhale, left leg goes forward. In the runner's lunge, we stay here for a breath. And then exhale that out. And inhale, coming all the way up into crescent. Reaching through the top. But now on the exhale, we're going to scoot the right foot forward a little bit. Plant that right heel down. So we end up in warrior one. Straightening that left leg. Still reaching through the crowns and reaching through the hands. Get one more big inhale. Stretch out through the crown. Stretch out through the hands. And exhale. Fold forward. Over that left leg gently. Not hyperextending that left knee. But bringing that left hip crease back and in. Pressing into that big toe mound. Stretching it long ways. And then just folding forward. Remember, you're not hyperextending that left knee. Check in with the back right foot. Is it planted fully? Pressing into that back right heel. Back right big toe. Stretching that left hip. Backing into place. So if you got a stick, like your hamstring, your left leg is a stick, pressing that left hip back into place. Awesome. Inhale into flat back. Exhale, bend the left knee. Right toes come up, heel reaches to the sky, runner's lunge. Hands plant down, left leg shoots back. Inhale to the plank. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, we open up the chest in that cobra. Exhale, knees down, pressing in the palms, back to child's. Inhale, back up to tabletop, legs shoot back. We are in that plank. Inhale for a breath. Exhale, hips shoot to the sky. Downward facing. Left leg comes up in between the hands. We find ourselves in that runner's lunge as we get some length, extension through the crown. Inhale, pressing through that right foot and coming up into a crescent. Get that balance, get that length, find the strength. Left heel drops down, scoots forward a little bit as we end up in warrior one. Palms reaching to the sky. Right leg straightens out, doesn't hyperextend though, just getting some more length, pressing into the big toe mound on the right side. Inhale, stretching tall, and exhaling, folding forward over that right leg. Check in, you're not hyperextending, maybe scoot that left foot a little bit closer, get a little bit more balance. Reaching that right hip crease up and back to the sky, leveling off the back side of the hips. Inhaling, just getting some flat back, and then exhale, fold forward over that leg, get a deeper stretch. Pressing into the center of that right foot. Maybe even the toe mounds. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left toes shoot back, or find ourselves in a lunge, forward facing, left heel to the sky. Palms plant, right leg shoots back. Inhale into that plank. Exhale, lower down. Chaturanga onto cobra pose. The inhale, knees drop down, press into the palms. Back into child's pose. Inhale, we come up into tabletop, legs shoot back, we're in the plank. Hip creases come up to the sky, walk the feet in just a little bit, and we end up in downward facing dog. Stop. From downward dog, we step the right foot forward in between the hands, drop the left knee down, scoot the left knee back a little bit, and we flip the right toes up to the sky as we scoot it forward. This is a good time for a block or blocks. I only got one, but ideally you'd have 2 blocks on your sides here. Just getting some length through your straight back as you reach to the crown. You're really working on the legs and not the forward fold here. So as you straighten out that back and spine, not hyperextending that right leg, you're pressing through that heel and pulling that right hip crease back into place. Getting some length through that right leg. Finding that breath here. Just calming yourself down. Getting deep into the pose. Maybe scooting that left knee back a little bit. Getting a little bit more length through that stretch. Filling out that leg, just seeing how it feels. Where is it tight? Maybe just let yourself know you could release tension. Slowly just bring awareness to that muscle that's holding you back. And let it ease into extension. Be gentle with it, but just letting that muscle know it doesn't need to hold back right now. It's in a safe place. As we slowly come out of this, we bend the right knee, scoot the left knee forward a little bit, coming up into that lunge with the left knee down. Untuck the left toes, release the hands from the ground as you reach up into that low lunge. Hands to the sky as you fold backwards just slightly, getting that length. Exhale, hands plant to the mat, left toes tuck under, right leg shoots back. You inhale in that plank, exhale, lowering down slowly. Maybe you come into the upward facing or you stick with the cobra. Either way, you're okay. And then you come back into that downward facing dog. Inhaling big, exhaling it all out. Good job. Find yourself releasing a lot of tension in those longer holds. It's a good place to be. We're going to enter into it on the left side. So the left leg comes forward in between the hands. Inhale in that runner's lunge. Exhale, right knee drops down. Maybe find your blocks. Scooting the right knee back a little bit. Left heel scoots forward as it straightens out. Left toes to the sky. Instead of pressing down on that left knee to gain some extension or a better, deeper stretch, rather press through that heel, press forward through that heel as that left hip crease stretches back as it's pulled back. Let that knee be okay for where it is. Maybe just recognizing how it slowly lowers on its own as you find a deeper, deeper stretch. Not by pushing that knee down, but rather by stretching back through that hip and forward through that heel. Coming out of this pose, we slowly bring that left heel in, gently untucking those right toes. Find ourselves in a low lunge, remove the blocks potentially, and then reaching up slowly with the arms up above the head. Breathing into that lower body. Exhaling, the hands plant, framing the left foot. Tuck those right toes, reach back. Runner's lunge. This time we step the right foot forward, meeting the left from the mat. Inhale to the flat back. Exhale, forward fold over those legs. Inhaling, pressing through those heels, bending those knees generously as we reach up to the sky. Big inhale, slight lean back, and exhale, hands come to the chest, right in front. Amazing. Just feeling that energy throughout the body, just moving on its own, creating its own vibration. A quality that just was brought out. It was as if it was pulled out of a deep place and released and freed. To give yourself just a higher vibration. Feeling alive again in such a simple moment. Inhaling, reaching above the head to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, slowly lowering the butt down all the way. Plant sitting behind the heels, lowering all the way down. Scooting the hips back, stretching the legs straight out in front of you. Allowing those knees to bend as much as they need to. Reaching up over the head. Getting that length, getting that big inhale and exhaling, fold forward over the legs, stretching through those heels, stretching through the crown. If you feel tight in the lower back, maybe bend the knees a little bit more, scooting those hips a little bit further back. Before you go deeper into this forward extension. Inhaling, releasing the feet. Hands plant behind you, fingers face the front of the mat. Toes point forward, scoot the heels a little bit farther forward. Inhale here for a breath, and exhaling, we press into the palms, reach the hips up to the sky. Reverse plank, just for a second, then hips lower down, knees bend, lowering the back all the way down to the mat. Feet extend outwards, hands drop open, and you find yourself in the final pose. Getting that big relaxation at the end. Corpse pose. Just finding a meditative quality. Recognizing the breath maybe has a little bit more energy just than normal. And maybe just bringing attention to that energy the breath is or has, and how it slowly begins to quiet itself down. And as that breath begins to quiet itself down, let the mind be followed, strung along by the breath, just as if it's following it to that quiet, meditative space. There's a lack of restraint. A freedom of peace. An act of being without action on your conscious part. Allowing the body to be as it naturally is. A vessel used to sustain you and to help take you through this experience of life.